Hello, everybody. This is me talking from Kibbutz Nir Oz Friday morning. I'm here after yoga. I went to yoga and I'm feeling very much more calm and more relaxed, and I'm glad for it because we had a very hard week this week. On Tuesday, we had 70 rockets falling on this area, 70 rockets in a 24-hour period, which was very, very intense. There was a story on the news of a woman whose son I actually taught a few years ago. She had been in bed in the morning, Wednesday morning, and through our cell phone, she got a message to immediately find a safe place to stay. They were expecting rockets. Well, she has no safe place. She has no fallout shelter, no secure room, and she decided just to stay in bed. But then a few minutes later, there was the official red alert, which comes over the loudspeakers in the area, and she got out of bed. She went to the safest place in her room, which is her hallway, and a few minutes later, she heard a horrible noise, and then she saw smoke. And when she ventured out, she heard noises of people coming to see what was going on. And sure enough, there had been a rocket that fell on her bed where she had been a second previously. Right, so I saw this on the news, and interesting. But the good news was there was no school that day. So we stayed at home, and in order to alleviate my stress, shall we say, I worked on my puppet. So here I have this, what was once a foam rubber ball, and I glued on the eyelids and the eyes. I fixed the nose, attached lips, and I did a little construction of the hand area. And now I have my puppet that's ready for therapy. Lucky me. Anyway, what else have I got for you? I spoke to a photographer who photographs the Bedouin population in his area. His name is Ezra Tzahor, and he likes to expose their plight. These are people who, for thousands and thousands of years, have wandered the Middle East, following their flocks and setting up tents wherever they are. He photographs them, and I'll talk to you a bit about him, and I'll read some haiku. So, I hope everyone's fine. Here we go. Here's a picture of the woman's house. If you see that hole, that's inside her bedroom. That's where her bed was. Whoa. Yeah. Hi, everyone. I wanted to tell you about a blog I keep about this area. It's called Let My People Know. Talk about it now. And on my blog, I talk about various people who are doing things of interest in the area, people who are working for peaceful relations, who are expressing anxieties, who are supporting other people in the community. This time I wanted to talk to you about Ezra Tzahor. He's a photographer, and he recently had a photography exhibit in our art gallery called the White House. Perhaps I told you about it before. So I interviewed Ezra. There he is. He's a man who lives on Kibbutz Revivim, and he teaches photography, and he rides his bike around his kibbutz area, and he photographs Bedouin. And his thought is to expose the conditions of the Bedouin and help promote relationships between Israelis and the Bedouin population who don't have any legal rights in the country. They're not citizens. For thousands of years, they've just wandered, grazing their flocks, doing what they can to earn money, or in this time in our lives, they steal a lot of things. They resell. They steal cars. They steal parts, irrigation pipes. Somehow they make it.
Ezra says, I try to capture the image of what is really going on with the Jewish population and the Bedouin. At the same time, my intention is to be an agent or go-between. I wish to mediate between two sides, two groups of human beings. This is a beautiful photograph of the desert sand. I asked Ezra if he thinks he's being heard, and he said now and then he gets the feeling of support, but he's always trying to gather support. I asked him if there's been anything written about the situation of the Bedouin in English newspapers, and he doesn't believe so. So I decided I had to write it up, put it in my blog. I asked him if there's something in particular he'd like us to know. He said, in general, it's a situation that's not getting much exposure because both Bedouin and the Jewish population see the camera as an enemy, as something that is against them. And he gets the impression both sides are trying to hide truths. I asked him if he had any suggestions how to recruit support, and he said his dream was to build a house, a building like the White House that we have in Nir Oz, in which Bedouins and Israelis can do communal art projects and so build a situation of trust and interest in working further together. And now some morning coup. Mind climbs mountain, all glows with sky shine, till neighbor yawns. Calico cat leaps onto neighbor's roof, private nap. Neighbor dog flat on dry grass, listens for flies. Rain passes, far from my lemon tree, dry leaf sigh. Lone motorbike cracks dawn stillness, far as the ear flies. Surprise! Flies find other targets this early morn. Soft bird tune gently greets morning, no longer alone. Moments of laughter chain together into garlands. Search for reality. Anywhere but here, I stop to breathe. Bean sprouts. Sudden need for attention, and now I'm awake. Absence. Heart grows fonder until presence. Until the harvest, peanut butter from the store. Mistress Earth blows sand dunes in my path. Smells of ancient seas, bits of conch shell in the sand. History giggles. Unzip the sky, remove the ceiling, flow into space.